Have you ever felt uncomfortable, irritated, or mentally exhausted just by standing in a crowd? It's not weakness, it's psychology. Some people walk into crowded places and feel alive. The noise excites them, the movement energizes them, the chaos feels like momentum. But then there are people who step into the same environment and feel their chests tighten, their thoughts become noisy, their patience drops, and their body wants to leave before their mind can explain why. They are often told they are overthinking, too sensitive, or antisocial. But the truth is much deeper than personality labels. Hating crowded places is not a flaw. It's a neurological response shaped by how the brain processes stimulation, control, and emotional safety. To understand this, we need to stop viewing crowds as just people together and start seeing them as complex psychological environments. Crowded places are not just full of people, they are full of signals. Sounds overlapping, bodies moving unpredictably, visual input coming from every direction, smells, heat, touch, motion all at once. For some brains, this stimulation feels exciting. For others, it feels like an attack. This is called sensory processing sensitivity. Highly sensitive nervous systems process information more deeply. They don't filter stimulation quickly, they absorb it fully. So what looks like normal noise to one person feels like mental overload to another. It's not emotional weakness, it's neurological capacity being exceeded. When the brain receives more input than it can process, it goes into survival mode, heart rate increases, focus drops, irritability rises, energy drains rapidly. This is why people who hate crowds often feel exhausted afterward, even if they did nothing physically demanding. Their brain worked overtime just to stay regulated. Crowds don't tire their body, they tire their nervous system. Many people assume crowd discomfort is about shyness. It's not. The real trigger is loss of control. In crowded places, you can't control personal space, you can't predict movement, you can't regulate noise, you can't leave easily. The brain hates uncertainty when safety is unclear. And for people who value mental control, predictability, and awareness, crowds feel like chaos imposed from the outside. The discomfort isn't social, it's environmental. Personal space isn't just physical, it's psychological. When strangers stand too close, the brain subconsciously reads it as a boundary violation. For some people, that boundary is flexible. For others, it's essential for emotional stability. Crowds collapse these boundaries. That constant proximity keeps the brain on alert, asking, am I safe? Am I seen? Am I trapped? This low-level vigilance is exhausting. Introversion does not mean fear of people. It means energy exchange works differently. Introverted brains lose energy through prolonged stimulation and regain it through quiet and control. Crowds represent prolonged stimulation, zero recovery, constant alertness. So avoidance isn't rejection, it's self-regulation. Introverts don't hate people, they hate drain without purpose. Your emotional energy is not infinite. The brain decides where to invest it. Sports fans invested in teams, crowd lovers invested in shared experiences. Others invested in ideas, work, creativity, or close relationships. If an environment offers no emotional return, only noise and pressure, the brain withdraws. People who hate crowds are often selective with emotion, not lacking it. Some minds are constantly observing facial expressions, body language, tone shifts, social cues. In crowds, this awareness multiplies. Instead of relaxing, the brain tracks dozens of microsignals at once. This creates cognitive overload. They are not anxious by nature, they are attentive by default. For many people, crowd discomfort is learned a panic attack, a moment of humiliation, feeling lost, trapped, or ignored. The brain remembers emotional danger better than logic. So later, when faced with a similar environment, it reacts early before their conscious mind understands why. Avoidance becomes protection, not weakness, adaptation. In crowds, individuality dissolves. You become a body in motion, a number in line, a face in noise. Some people love that anonymity. Others feel erased by it. People with strong internal identities don't need collective identity to feel whole. So crowds feel unnecessary, not exciting. Noise increases cortisol. Constant sound keeps the brain in alert mode. For people who think deeply, noise interrupts internal clarity. Crowds don't just interrupt peace, they interrupt thought. This is why many crowd-averse people crave silence, solitude, or controlled environments. Their mind needs space to function properly. In many crowded environments, your role is passive. You watch, you wait, you endure. For people who value active engagement, this feels pointless. They prefer environments where their effort matters, their presence changes outcomes, their actions have meaning. Crowds offer experience without agency. Some minds reject that instantly. Choosing not to engage emotionally with overwhelming environments is not detachment, it's regulation. It shows the ability to recognize limits, needs, boundaries. People who hate crowds often understand themselves deeply, even if they can't always explain it. Hating crowds does not mean lacking social skills. Many crowd-averse people communicate deeply one-on-one. They prefer depth over breadth, meaning over noise, presence over performance. Crowds reward performance, they prefer presence. Modern culture celebrates loudness, visibility, and constant stimulation. Quiet preferences are misunderstood, so crowd-avoidant people are told to fix themselves when nothing is broken. Their nervous system simply operates on a different frequency. Hating crowded places doesn't mean you're antisocial, it doesn't mean you're anxious, and it definitely doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain values clarity over chaos, control over noise, depth over distraction. Your mind doesn't reject people, it rejects environments where emotional energy is wasted. You're not disconnected from life, you're just selective about where you show up. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more psychology that explains what others misunderstand.